Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I wanted to do a fun video showing vintage products that you can still buy today. So I have a lot of products to show you, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one that I have on my list is Pond's Cold Cream Cleanser. This has been around since 1846, especially famous and used a lot in the 50s by lots of women. They would put this to remove their makeup, but also just like rub it all over their face and then sleep in this. So this is still around today, and I believe it's the same as it was back then. The next thing I have that's kind of similar to the Pond's cold cream is the Jergens face cream, and used a lot in the 50s by lots of women, and the same technique. It even says on the directions: smooth generously over your face and throat, remove with a tissue or leave on overnight. So I've never used any of these overnight, which I don't know, I guess it would moisturize your skin and do that kind of thing, but I just use them. I've been using them as like a facial cleanser, and the difference in them, this one is like huge. I mean, they're both pretty inexpensive, but this Jergens one is only $3 for this gigantic tub of it. I can't remember how much the Pond's is. I bought a pack of 3 of them on Amazon, I think, but they're still very inexpensive for them. So this one, the Pond's, seems a lot thicker to me. It's more of a thick, creamy. I can show you a little bit. But it's like kind of like a lotion. It's just a thick texture. And then the Jergens is a lot thinner, but kind of more oily. They're both kind of on the oily side, but this one's a light pink, but it's a lot thinner. And I don't know which one I like better. They're both pretty similar. This one smells a little better. This one, I don't know, you might have to like the smell, but it has a little more of a light floral scent. And the other one, it doesn't really, I don't think it really smells too much. Well, it does have a distinct smell, but I don't know what you would call it. So they're both different, but I like them both. So the next thing I have is Nivea, and it's been around, this Nivea cream has been around since 1911. What was really neat about this is it comes in a glass container, like a glass jar. You don't buy normal, now they come in a plastic tub or something, but what I thought was really cool about this was it comes in a really pretty cobalt blue jar. And this is for, it says cream for body, face, hands, well, so body, face, and hands. I never use this on my face, but I've been using it every night on my arms and my feet and my hands, and it's really nice. It's a really thick texture. It's I don't know, but it doesn't really have a smell. It's kind of an unscented smell, but it's also very inexpensive. I think this huge jar is like $7, I think I bought it for. And like I said, the glass jar, I think that is so neat that it comes in that. But I was really surprised at how thick and creamy this texture was, so I think I'm definitely going to keep using this all the time. On to the next thing I have, Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. It's a translucent powder, and this came out in 1935. It even says it on the container up there. I use this every day. This is what I use all the time for my makeup. This is what I set my makeup in, and it even comes with this cute little powder puff. It's dirty now because I use it all the time, but it's really neat. I think that that's like a vintage feel to it, that it comes with a little powder puff that you can apply it with. I actually have some vintage ones that I've got at antique stores, but this is, I think these were different kinds, like maybe a different, like this one says muted beige and this one says tamale. So I don't know, I don't think that they have different colors now. Like, I think they just have this orange one, but it is kind of neat how the packaging is kind of similar. This one, of course, is it's like a cardboard paper box, and this one's just plastic, but they are cute how they're similar. I really enjoy this. This is my favorite translucent powder, and also, of course, with this one also, it's very inexpensive. For a face powder, it's a pretty big container of it, and I think it's about $6 or $7 for this, and it lasts me quite a while. So the next thing that I wanted to show you was Max Factor's Pan Stick Foundation. I recently purchased this because I've been wanting to try it because it was a popular, well, it came out in 47, but it was popular throughout then to the 50s, and I think even beyond that. But it's just a stick foundation. It's the pan stick, and I really enjoy this because this happens to be the kind of foundation that I like to use, a stick foundation. But I recently got this, and I got it on Amazon. I think that you can't buy this in America anymore. I think it might only be sold in Europe, but I found it on Amazon for a reasonable price, just like a 3 or 4 pack for $18. But I've been using the one for a while, and you don't really need that much to cover your face, so I do like that. And it's a creamy texture. It's not matted at all, which I like a matte, but it doesn't matter because I just will use the translucent powder over it, and then it does a nice cover for me. This one that I have is Q-Tex. This is a nail polish remover. This has been around, let's see, this one's been around since 1911. I have an old one of those too, an old Q-Tex. This one's from the 20s, but it's been around a very long time. And I mean, it's just a basic nail polish remover, but I do like the nostalgia of it, so I like to get that one. Now the next thing that I have is a brush, and it's the Mason Pearson brush. This brush has been around since 1885, and it's the same technique that they used to make it back then that they still do now. So I think that that's really neat. I use this every day for doing my hair, and it's really perfect when you're trying to do vintage curls. It is very on the pricey side, but I do think it's worth it, and they say these brushes will last forever. I've had mine about 3 years now, but it's going good so far. The next thing that I have to show you is a perfume, which I'm sure most of you have heard of or know about, Chanel No. 5. This one has been around since 1921, a famous perfume that Marilyn Monroe would wear. So I think that it's a very classic scent. You either love it or you hate it, I guess, but I like to have this. It's just a nice classic perfume, and I've actually went to Paris, and for some reason that this is the exact scent that I think of when I smell this, I think of Paris. I don't know why. I think most of the women maybe wore this because I feel like that's what you would smell, but I think that it's really neat that it's been around for so long, and just for me it makes me think of when I was in Paris, so I really like this perfume. Now moving on to the last bit, I have quite a few of them, but the last things that I have to show you are Revlon lipsticks. So the first one I have to show you is Love That Red, and this is the one that I actually have on right now. This one has been around, let's see, this one's been around since 1951. It's a really nice red. It's a bright true red. It's a cream finish, and actually have an old tube of it also. It's, I believe, from the 50s, but it's also in Love That Red. And this was like an old refill lipstick that you would put in like a compact that would come with a lipstick, but that's what it says on here, a refill, slip-in refill. Like, that's really neat. You know, the new ones, they're obviously the plastic, but I think that this is so cool how it comes in this, I don't know, I guess this is brass casing. So it's really fancy and pretty, but I think that it's kind of neat that they have the same colors that they had then, and this is from 1951. And they're also, along with most of this stuff here, is pretty inexpensive. I believe I got this for like $4 or $5, which it's, I don't know, it's really neat to have a lipstick that's from the 50s that's the same as it was back then. So the next one that I have to show you is Certainly Red, and it came out in 1951 also. I'm going to show you what it looks like on. So this one is in Certainly Red, and this one also came out in 1951. I would definitely call this a more blue red. They're pretty similar, the Love That Red and Certainly Red, but I would say, here, I'll show you them side by side. So this one's Love That Red, and this one is the Certainly Red, which I think you can kind of see. They are very similar, but I would say this one's a little bit lighter, and the Certainly Red is more of a blue, deeper red. But I think that that one's really pretty also for a red. But it also came out, both of those came out in 1951. And the next one that I have is Fire and Ice. This one came out in 1952, just a year after the other two. I think that this one is a brighter and lighter red than the other two. They say that this one is a very versatile red, that you can wear it with several different skin tones. Like the other ones I would say is definitely for blue skin tone, undertone, but this one is, they say you can do it if you have blue or like a yellow undertone, different ones like that. So I think that this one's neat. They all have the same finish, it's like the cream finish. The next one that I have for you is Cherries in the Snow. This one came out in 1953, so I'll show you what this one looks like on. This one is a lot different than the other three that I've showed you so far. This one is very pinky. It's a very pinky red. It's like a fuchsia kind of, but it's a very pretty red also. And what's neat about this one is that they still carry the matching lipstick set that goes with it. See, they're both the Cherries in the Snow, and you can still buy both of these that match. But what's neat about that is in the 50s, it was very popular to wear a matching nail and lip color. I remember talking to my grandma about that, and she said every day she would change her nail polish to match her lipstick of the day. So either it be red, peach, or pink, one of those usually. They would match their lipstick and their nail polish to it each day. So I think that that's neat that you can get an exact matching set that they used to wear back in the 50s. Still buy that today. So I think that that one's pretty neat. So the last but not least I have is Love That Pink. And this one came out in 1955. I really enjoy this pink. It's not too much of a Barbie pink or like a nude pink that you would kind of see in most pinks that you would buy today. I think that it is a really nice, just a true pink, and it's not too bright, and it's perfect. It's one of my favorite pinks that there is. But it's a true 1955 pink lipstick, and it's the only one of the pinks that I have that I think that you can still buy from Revlon. So that's all for all of my products that are vintage products that you can still buy today, and that's all for the Revlon lipstick. So I do really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was fun to put together and find different products that are still around today, that are vintage products that were, most of these were very popular products that they used, which is probably why they're still around today. But I think that that's just kind of neat to go and be able to go to the store and buy a product that they were able to buy in the 50s or before that even. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and comment if you know any different products that are vintage products that you can still buy today. Let me know, because I always love finding out about those, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.